Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. I'm your teacher, Alberto Alonso, and thank you so much for joining us once again for an amazing, interactive English class. Well, yeah, you should be interacting with me. Okay, maybe not on social media, but you should talk to the TV. Not normally, not when you're watching a movie. No seas como mi mujer. No, don't go in there. No entres. I'm like, honey, he can't hear you. No te oye, right? And my daughter does the same thing. They talk to the TV. But in this case, I give you permission to do it. Why? Because this isn't a movie. This is an English class. And you're supposed to talk in your English class. You're also supposed to do challenges and have tests. And that's exactly how we're going to start today, with a challenge. As always, I'm going to give you 3 examples, and I want you to tell me which one is correct. Listen carefully. A, whose glass is that? A, whose glass is that? Does that sound right to you? How about B, whose the glass is that? B, whose the glass is that? Ahí estamos empleando el artículo definido, el the. Or maybe C, whose is it the glass is that? ¿Debo repetir esa o es evidente que no es esa? All right, I won't repeat it because I hope you didn't think that one's correct. If not, you have to go back to the first class. All right, so A and B, 50-50. What have you got? It's a toss-up, como decimos. A toss-up es cuando lanzan una moneda. O sea, solo va a ser cabeza o cruz, right? Cara o cruz, you say. We say, that's why I said cabeza, heads or tails. Cabeza o cola. So it's a toss-up, 50-50. What do you think? A or B? Did you say B? No. Porque yo sé que en español, ¿de quién es el vaso? Pero en inglés no empleamos artículo ahí. So whose, lo que sea, is that? Or is this? Or is it? Si no indicamos dónde está. So whose glass is that? ¿Lo puedes poner en plural? ¿De quién son aquellos vasos? Whose glasses are those? Or are they? So, apúntate, siempre digo esto, apúntatelo una vez correctamente. Y así ya puedes ir cambiando y metiéndolo en plural, en singular, en pasado. Vamos a intentarlo en el pasado. ¿De quién fue esa idea? Tuya. ¿De quién fue esa idea? Que es algo que se diría normalmente, es una frase prácticamente hecha. Whose idea was it? Whose idea was it? Si el presente era is it, pues en pasado it's was it. Ponlo en plural en pasado. Y esto lo puedes hacer con todas las estructuras para asegurar que las dominas perfectamente. All right. Whose ideas were they? Whose ideas were they? And I want to look at the word glass too, because I've heard a lot of people mix this one up here. The word glass. Well, glass es un vaso, pero de cristal, como el nombre indica. Bien, ¿cómo decimos uno que no es de cristal? Well, you can call it a cup. A plastic cup. Y adelante puedes poner de qué está hecho. A plastic cup, a paper cup, a styrofoam cup. Right? Ya ahí lo indicas. Pero glass es la que está hecho de cristal. So, cuando pides una copa de vino, do you say a cup of wine? No, porque viene en cristal, ¿no? So how do we say it? A glass of wine. That's right, I would like a glass of wine, please. Y cuidado, porque si dices I would like a wine glass, ¿sabes lo que estás pidiendo? La copa sin vino, right? So, could you give me a wine glass? una copa para vino, ¿no? El adjetivo indica que es para vino, como el paper cup, indica que está hecho de papel. Pero el momento que quieres que te echen vino, could you give me a glass of wine? Could you pour me a glass of wine? To pour es echar, viene del verbo verter, right? And the same thing, a bottle of wine es una botella de vino. A wine bottle me da la sensación que es basura para reciclar, right? Oh, it's full of wine bottles. Bottles of wine? Pues maybe you're a connoisseur. Maybe you like bottles of wine. And let me ask you this. My friends in Spain sometimes make this mistake. They say, Alberto, let's go out and have some cups. Vamos a salir a tomar unas copas. No, it's not cups. How do you say that one in English? Copas, como roncola o algo así. We say drinks. Pero ¿cómo se sabe si son de alcohol o no? Bueno, ya decides tú a pedirlo. Let's get some drinks. Si quieres ser más específico, you can say cocktails. Y una palabra que me encanta, mocktails. Mock es burlarse de embuste. So a mocktail es un cóctel sin alcohol.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme.
Hello and welcome to our homophone section. This is a section of the show where we take a look at words that may or may not sound the same. I'll leave it in your hands. And of course, by the end of the section, I'll tell you the correct answer and we'll look at any intricacies or anything about these words that I think you should know. Double meanings, pronunciation things, and so on and so forth. ¿Te sabes esta? Creo que del contexto está claro. And so on and so forth. You say etc. We say etc., but we also say and so on and so forth. All right, so let's take a look over here. The first word is lloriquear. También es quejarse. Lo puedes entender como la idea es igual. Muchas veces cuando enseño esto en una clase solo hago el acting, ¿no? Hay muchas expresiones que las puedes enseñar con un gesto o un sonido, ¿no? So, en este caso, my daughter when she's cranky. Mi hija cuando está un poco cascarrabias, un poco gruñona. Todos nos ponemos así y más los niños que no saben. So, the first one is lloriquear, quejarte, okay? That's our first word. Are you familiar with the word? You can say to complain, eso es quejarse, pero no es lloriquear. Entonces, esta palabra realmente significa las dos. Es una palabra más amplia. Okay? The second word is vino. Y se fue. No, not he came. No es ese vino. Es vino, bueno, vino tinto. How do we say vino tinto? Do we say tint wine? No. We say red wine. De hecho, cuando yo vine a España a vivir, siempre decía, ¿me pones una copa de vino rojo? And they always looked at me like, te he entendido, pero así no se dice, amigo. So, vino tinto, we say red wine. Vino blanco, easy. Okay. ¿Y el rosado? Oh, okay. Ahora hemos entrado en territorio un poco peligroso aquí. Do you know it? We say rosé, que me imagino es una palabra francesa, Rosé. Rosé. Or if you don't want to sound so snobby, so snooty, tan pijillo, you might just say blush. Blush, que significa sonrojarse, piénsalo. No es rojo, es rojizo, right? So, blush wine or rosé. And a good thing about rosé, even though I'm not a big fan, I like that a lot of times they're sparkling. Do you know what this means? Sparkling, con burbujas. Right? Well, like a nice lambrusco. All right, now let's focus here because I love wine, if you haven't noticed. Y acabo de decir la segunda palabra, wine. Esa la sabes, ¿no? Más si sois españoles. I mean, wine, hello, Rioja, right? Ribera del Duero. I always tell my American friends, you guys drink the Rioja. We keep the Ribera del Duero for us. That's right. Everybody thinks of Spain as, oh, Rioja. And yes, Rioja is an amazing wine region. But most of the people I know drink Ribera del Duero. And nobody, a little Spanish tip, nobody ever in my 20 years of living here and my 47 years of visiting this country has ever ordered a sangria, except an American or a British person. Yeah, we have tinto de verano, or rebujito, which is tinto de verano is red wine with some Sprite or some sparkling water, something like that, right? But sangria, no. And guys, paella is not for dinner. Come on, how are you going to have a big dish full of rice for dinner? We have a light dinner in Spain. You always order paella for lunch for two reasons. It's going to be fresh at lunchtime, and you won't go to bed on a full stomach. So, the first word is wine. I'll give you both of them in context, okay? He started to whine because I took away his wine. Yes, they are homophones. Y os enseño una expresión muy nativa. Cuando alguien empieza a quejarse, ¿sabes lo que decimos? Would you like some cheese with your wine? ¿Te gustaría un poco de queso con tu vino, con tu lloriqueo?
You're joking.
Hello and welcome to You're Joking here on the show with no name. By the way, you guys should look up some puns on the internet just to see if you get them. Yeah, why not? Búscate un libro de chistes, a joke book in English, and see how many of the jokes you get. And if you don't get them, and obviously I'm not there to translate it, look them up. It's a fun way to study, right? You're learning with music, with movies. We do that here, music, movies, humor. Why? Because it makes it more fun, más divertido. So here's a joke. Let's see if you get it. A snake slithers into a bar. Ahora, ¿sabes del gesto y por qué? Una serpiente no hace muchas cosas. They hiss, que suena como es. To hiss, and they slither. Eso es como se mueven. So a snake slithers into a bar. Hay muchos chistes en inglés que empiezan así. A man walks into a bar. Un hombre entra en un bar. Well, here, a snake slithers into a bar, and the bartender, el camarero, the bartender says, I'm sorry, but I can't serve you. No te puedo servir. He says, I'm sorry, yeah, I can't serve you. And the talking snake says, y cuidado, no es says, it's says. He says, why not? ¿Por qué no? And the bartender answers, no answers, sino la W es muda. The bartender answers, because you can't hold your liquor. No? You get it? Well, snakes don't have arms. No tienen brazos. So they can't hold their liquor. No pueden sujetar su alcohol, su licor. But also, somebody who can't hold their liquor, no les des mucho de beber, porque tienen poca tolerancia. I wanna wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill. Hey, number one, top of the heap. Gotta love that song. Gotta love New York. And it's true. Like the song says, New York is a city that never sleeps. I remember when I lived in New York, I remember leaving some clubs, saliendo de algunas discotecas. Yeah, we call them clubs or nightclubs. Now, this is the old Alberto, well, the old young Alberto, o sea, Alberto antiguamente, pero joven, 12 noon, las 12 de mediodía. Yeah, coming out of a club, and inside, it was like 2 a.m. Era como las 2 de la madrugada. So, really, New York doesn't sleep. And there are a lot of bars. There's a lot of nightlife. In fact, New York has 25,000 bars. nightclubs, venues, and restaurants. Okay, so bar, ya lo sabes. Nightclub, discoteca, más para bailar. A venue is a place where you can have a concert or an event. And a restaurant, o otra palabra para restaurant, is eatery. ¿Te sabías esta? An eatery. So 25,000 bars. That's great. That means it's keeping a lot of people employed, right? Employed, empleados. Because sure, you've got servers or waiters, you've got bartenders. Don't forget about the owners, los propietarios, the dueños, propietarios, the owners, right? Own es el verbo. Workers, well, you've got all kinds of workers, from bathroom attendants to the performers to, every job, even the person who is at the coat rack or the coat check, donde dejas el abrigo.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Double trouble.
Hey, amigos, I know it's not the you're joking section, but I just remembered a really funny joke. Well, I think it's funny. You might think it's corny. What did the guy say when he walked into the bar? What did the guy say when he walked into the bar? As I said, there are many bar jokes. He said, ouch! Do you get it? What did the guy say when he walked into the bar? ¿Qué dijo el tipo cuando entró en la barra o cuando chocó contra la barra? You see? A bar es una barra de metal, pero también es un bar. So what did he say when he walked into the bar? Ow! Ow! I told you it was corny, but now you know that double meaning of the word bar. Also, the bar is the exam that lawyers have to take, los abogados tienen que hacer, to be a certified lawyer in the United States. Oirás en las películas de abogados o de juicios, he passed the bar. Hablan de the bar. Pues no están hablando de un sitio para tomar copas, sino un examen que usan para los nuevos abogados, para certificarlos. The bar. All right, so here's today's double trouble. Again, we're looking at words with many, many meanings. Ese bar, más significados para la palabra bar. Ese bar ha subido el listón muy alto. Ese bar ha subido el listón muy alto. Ok, muy fácil la primera parte, ¿no? Ya hemos visto esa palabra y en español es igual. Just be careful, it's not bar in inglés, it's bar. Bar. Okay, so that bar has raised the bar very high. Yeah, subir la barra, we say. El listón. Think about it como una barra al final, ¿no? That bar has raised the bar very high. I hope they don't bar me from the bar. Y te doy hasta otro significado. To bar, prohibir.
The totally native saying of the day. And it goes a little something like this.
Hey amigos, welcome to our totally native saying here on the show with no name, where I teach you how to sound like us. Well, when I speak Spanish, I want to sound like you. I don't want to sound like I'm speaking Spanish out of a book. Yeah, nadie quiere hablar español de libro, de texto, right? Nadie quiere sonar como my tailor is rich and my mother is in the kitchen. Okay, ¿y qué? How is that going to help you with your English? So our goal is to sound like a native person. And how do we do that? By listening, by observing, by taking notes, and repeating the idiomatic expressions we hear. Do you know how many expressions I've learned living in Spain? Well, I love it. I love learning expressions, and I hope you do too. Well, there's one that we use in Spain when you're out with your friends, maybe you're at the club, la discoteca, or you're at a bar, and it's time to order the last round. La última ronda. Well, in Spain, you say la penúltima. I love it. You never say, ponnos la última, por favor. You say la penúltima. And you usually even get a smile because it's a very, very common way of saying, bueno, quedamos en que no es la última. Even though it's closing time and you have to leave, we still say it. Well, we say in English, one for the road. Uno para la carretera. Uno para llevármelo, right? One for the road, aunque no te lo lleves. Al menos en mi país, you can get arrested for drinking in the street. So don't do that. Have it at the bar. But yeah, before you get going, to get going is ponerte en marcha. Before you hit the road, Jack, otra forma de decir, irte. Before you hit the road, before you jet, before you bounce, before you boogie. ¿Qué? Todos esos significan marcharse. Las repito. Before you hit the road, before you jet, before you bounce, before you boogie, we'll order another round.
Lights, camera, action verbs.
I'll have a martini, shaken, not stirred. Do you know this famous line? I know it's not time for Name That Movie yet, but since I'm bartending for a friend of mine is having a party, and since I have some experience behind the bar, my friend has asked me if I would bartend for him. And since I consider myself a mixologist, ¿sabías esta palabra? Yeah, ahora es una forma super fashion de decir un camarero de bar, a mixologist. But really, you do have to know what you're doing. Because if you add too much of an ingredient, it's not as good, right? And it's true, as James Bond says, some drinks should be shaken, right? Viene del verbo shake. Every day I shake drinks. Yesterday I shook drinks. And lately I've shaken drinks, right? Shake, shook, shaken. Como dice James Bond, shaken, not stirred. And to stir, cuidado con este, porque es un amigo falso. We don't remove a drink. You say remover, no? Well, we don't remove it. We stir it. Yeah, you stir the drink, because remove is quitar, right? And what do we use to shake our drinks? Te va a encantar. A shaker. Okay, then what do we use to stir our drinks? A stirrer. Esa es difícil, ¿eh? Dilo tú conmigo. Stirrer. A stirrer. And if you're a Bob Marley fan, then you'll know he's got a song. Stir it up, little darling, stir it up. Oh yeah, Bob Marley was a big drinker. No, I don't think he meant la bebida, el cóctel en este caso. I think he means remuévelo, la vida, ¿no? Haz las cosas de manera diferente. That's what we do in this class. We stir it up.
Name that movie.
Hello and welcome to Name That Movie. Today we're going to look at a movie that makes me want to go on vacation when I see it. Yeah, certain movies get you in that vacation vibe, and I'm talking about Cocktail. That's right, Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Do you remember this one? Where he plays a bartender who does all kinds of tricks. Can I tell you something? When I used to bartend regularly, no, de manera habitual, I knew how to do that. I knew how to throw the bottles up in the air, catch them. I had some flair. Flair es estilo, arte. I had some flair when I bartended. Well, bartending in New York City, there's a lot of competition. You've got to be good at it. Now, I don't think I ever made it look as good as Tom Cruise did, but let's take a look at this scene. He says, you see, there are two kinds of people in this world. Hay dos tipos de persona en este mundo. The workers, los currantes, los trabajadores, and the hustlers. And a hustler es un buscavidas, right? A hustler is somebody who's always looking, what's next? What can I do next? Un buscavidas, you say. And then he says, the hustlers never work. Los buscavidas nunca trabajan. The hustlers never work. And the workers never hustle. Y los trabajadores nunca se buscan la vida. I thought it was a very, very interesting one. And are there any Jay-Z fans, el rapero? I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it ain't where I've been, where I'm about to go. And I just want to love you. I'm a hustler, a hustler. That's right. And in New York, we talk about the hustle and bustle. El ajetreo.
It's time for the multiple choice challenge.
Hello and welcome to our multiple choice challenge. I'll give you 3 examples. 1 is correct. A, why you didn't fall asleep. A, why you didn't fall asleep. B, why didn't you fall asleep? B, why didn't you fall asleep? Or C, why didn't you fell asleep? C, why didn't you fell asleep is option C. Do you know which one's correct?